A lot of people have asked why I do what I do, which I think is a fantastic question. So I'd like to answer that in this video. I did an original video, but it was only like a minute or two long, and I felt like I really needed to get into it. So for the majority of my life, I have experienced a lot of depression, anxiety, and stress. And when I was living in New York City, working in the fashion industry, it had all kind of come to a peak where I was working so hard at a job that I really hated. And a lot of my friends that I had from college moved back to their hometowns. I really didn't have much family, many friends. I was working a horrible job. I worked that job well over maybe 50 hours, 60 hours a week, depending on what season it was. I was feeling just so alone and isolated. And occasionally I reach out to a friend and be like, oh, I'm so isolated and alone. And a lot of times their advice was to get lots of exercise, go join the gym, work out every day, try and eat healthier. And I just thought, wow, like if I had time to do either of those things, like cooking healthy, exercising daily, like I wouldn't be having this conversation. Like the whole thing was I was depressed because I was working so hard at a job that I hated. And I was working so hard at finding a better job that I had no energy for anything else. So how was I gonna work out and, cook to eat healthy? It just felt like a constant hamster wheel. And, I kept thinking like, how can I escape this? How can I make things better? And finally, I had some energy work done, and my stress levels, my anxiety levels, my depression levels went from like 85% down to like 5%. The next day, I felt like a brand new person. I had so much more energy. The just general like dark mist of depression had been lifted, and I just had this inner sense of peace, calmness, just a nice sense of blissful joy. And I just thought, oh, well, there we go. Now that this huge, million-pound rock has been lifted off my back, I can finally, exercise and cook and, do better at eating healthier and do the things to help maintain my health so that I don't get so stressed out. And shortly after that, I found a better job that was doing something that I enjoyed at a company that I really respected. And a lot of people don't always understand that, to cure the depression, it's not a matter of lifestyle changes. Sometimes the depression has to be eliminated before you can do all the things to maintain mental health. And so, yes, of course, eat healthy, exercise, have a hobby that you enjoy. But the reality is, if you are engulfed in these negative emotions, that makes all of that next to impossible. So really understanding the type of depression and stress that someone's going through is so important. And finding a solution, it's not always about the daily activities. It's about what the inner thoughts are, what the environment is, and really just treating the actual emotion first before we go into lifestyle changes, which of course, obviously have a healthy lifestyle that definitely helps. But I had found something that actually worked. There were zero side effects. Since I practice energy healing, I could easily just do it on myself, so it didn't cost anything. And I finally found something that worked. It worked well. I could do it as often or as little as I needed, and it got me on track. And that's why I want to provide this for other people. Like, I found something with zero side effects that works. It has long-lasting results. And so I want to be able to do this for other people. So if you've ever been through something where you dealt with serious mental and emotional anguish, let me know. Let me know your story. I would love to hear it. And thank you so much for listening.